This is Teachable Moments with April podcast, and you guessed it, I'm your host, April. If you're a returning listener and a part of the Teachable Moments with April podcast family, welcome back. For those of you who are checking me out for the first time, well, hello and welcome. To everyone listening, look for the teachable moments that are all around you. Enjoy. Today's devotional is courtesy of Spiritual Support for Caregivers and Those Who Love Them by Unity Ministries. Devotional number 2, How to Live with the Guilt by Barbara Bowen. From the petty to the heart-rendering, guilt plagues caregivers. Let's face it, I've been no exception. And during the 6 years of caring for my mother, who's 95 years old, almost every situation has stirred guilt within me, if I'm honest. However, I've learned to let intent guide me. Let me explain. Guilt was probably most threatening when I had to take over the money, okay? Mom, who had always handled her own finances and taught me how to handle mine, said, "It's my money." Still, she was confused as to whether she had paid her bills at times and sometimes paid them twice, and was often at other times late. She donated to everyone who asked her and fell prey to the many, many scams that are out there. I faced a hard decision, and I knew Mom had worked all her life to provide for herself and me. Should I let her continue to struggle with the independence and be vulnerable to yet another scam, okay, or scams in this case, while I pretended like I didn't see? Easier for me, but not very loving, is it? So, intending to provide positive support, I put hesitation and guilt aside, and I embraced necessity, and I took control of the computer and checkbooks for her protection. And once the change was accomplished, surprisingly, she actually, in time, she seemed relieved. A sense of priorities must be part of intent. Sometimes Mom wants to go home. She has made it obvious that she means her girlhood home where her daddy lives. The first time she asked, I tried telling her the truth. Her parents had both made their transition. And as you can imagine, she cried for a week and a half and demanded to know why no one told her anything, although she had planned both of their funerals, okay? Eventually, she forgot her parents had died and asked again to go home. So then I was faced with this question: what is more loving? To relate the facts and let her mourn all over again and again and again, who knows how many times or for how long? Or to tell a therapeutic fib, if you will, a lie that makes her happy in that special moment, okay? Nowadays, I cross my fingers and I tell her anything but that her parents are dead, okay? I say the car is in for repair, or a storm is predicted, or I need to phone her dad to find a good time to visit. If she asks for follow-up, I figure I can tell her I forgot to make the call, but the request always slips her mind before 10 minutes have even passed, okay? I could feel guilty about fibbing, but you know what? I don't. I have given my mother a gift of peace. If I feel guilty about the feelings I have, wishing this situation would end, that Mom would make her transition, that my life will return to normal, you know what? I decided to surround myself with love. I'm reassured that I'm helping and guided in moments of doubt, and there are many moments of doubt. I'm sure I am doing or have done my personal best at any given moment. Whatever human feelings may be involved, and they are going to come, those feelings, I forgive myself for being just what? Human. That's all we are. We're human. Now, according to fellow caregivers, after the loved one passes on, relief is frequently great. Suffering, as we know it, is over, and life is once again the caregiver's own. But feelings of relief bring back further guilt. Although I have not yet had to face these emotions, not yet, when the time comes, and it will come, I will apply the same principles. They have worked for me thus far. Now, realizing I'm helping Mom goes a long way toward dealing with guilt, but it is also important that I live my own life. Okay? And guilt sometimes causes problems. Like let's say if friends, family, or employment are neglected. I have to remember that no one can live my life but me. And that means taking care of who? Me. I found that unless I do, I'm testy. Okay? Then I snap at Mom, and that creates guilt too. Okay? So to have the best chance at patience and kindness, I do yoga and write. If I have to get up early, stay up late, or take a day off from caregiving, okay? That's my go-to. Yoga and write. And I ask for help, okay? Support groups, it's okay to ask for help. I just want to put that out there. It's okay. For some of us, this is something that we grapple with, okay? Asking for help, reaching out outside our comfort zone, okay? So you have support groups, you have friends, community and church organizations, and other family members that are actually willing to lend a hand, but they must be asked for specific tasks at specific time periods. So keep that in mind. So when Mom gave me her power of attorney, she was in her right mind at that moment, and she did not doubt my intention and my intent. She knew I would do what was best for her, okay? And that has not changed, believe it or not. When guilt looms, I remember this. It is not pleasant to watch my mom lose her faculties and slowly slip away, okay? But remembering and practicing loving intent brings self-forgiveness and peace. Sometimes there is no perfect solution for the problems that both of us seem to face, okay? But I intend, however, to make things better for her. She deserves it. I love her. And I know I have, even if she can't always recognize it the way we want her to, okay? The way I would like her to, okay? But I continue to be guided by love always, and let guilt wither unattended. You were just listening to Teachable Moments with April podcast. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode. We invite you to stay connected with us on our other social media platforms such as TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. Also, check us out on our official podcast landing page on podpage.com/Teachable Moments with April to see all our content in one place. You can leave messages and give feedback and more. When we challenge the status quo, we advance. It's a small but very powerful word. It unites us and reminds us that every meaningful innovation, every breakthrough begins with people. People coming together, working together, and upholding a high standard of performance because they care about what they do and those they do it for.
We is a word that speaks to our shared responsibility to champion health equity so no one is left behind. It gets to the heart of our culture to welcome every perspective and enrich diversity and belonging. It powers our global collaboration to cultivate stronger communities the world over. We. It is human potential distilled into 2 letters. A belief that together we might achieve something greater than ourselves, not only as a company, but as a people. And in that winning spirit, we continue to put our patients, employees, and communities at the center of everything we do. We continue to advance science for life.